Heavy
landing
launching
zones
roughly
2
5
and landing
minutes
zone
and
40.
20 seconds.
That's actually landing zone
A
40
little
on the
bright out here
left.
today,
Yep,
but it's
landing zone 2
absolutely
on the right.
gorgeous. There is
That's
some
labeled by
cloud cover.
SpaceX.
Hopefully I am
Coming
pointed
up on the final
correctly at
5
the
minutes of
pad.
the count, strong back retract is set to begin here in about 30 seconds
Hi,
time.
Linda. How you doing, honey?
We're flying away from the vehicle.
Falcon Heavy tanks are pressurizing for strong back retract.
Should hear another call regarding strong back retract at the 4-minute 30-second mark. The reason you may be hearing some additional commentary hopping in every now and again is because there's not a separate distinction between the mission audio loops and the SpaceX commentator. They're all lumped within one audio feed. So unfortunately, we're not able to isolate those because we don't have those coming through in an isolated manner.
They come through a bunch of different consoles and they go into a mixing thing and they go to the press release site. So the
4
press
minutes and
release
counting.
site
You can
sends
see the
out all
clamp
the
arms
audio.
beneath the
That's why
payload
there's a little bit
fairings
of a delay.
open up and some clouds covering
We
the
got a
Falcon Heavy
helicopter
rocket
flying.
at the moment, so blocking the sun from the payload fairing perspective. A nice view
Hey,
over
Dad, man.
at Launch
Welcome
Complex
in, bro.
39A. You can see a lot of the additional infrastructure that's been added in support of SpaceX's future Starship endeavors. Call for one of the side booster liquid oxygen load being complete.
Dad, man, I just made you a mod.
The right.
Box load complete.
Call for PY LOX load being complete. Again, PY is the booster designated B1075, flying for a 20-second time. If you're looking at the vehicle with the fairing that shows the Viasat logo, it's the booster on the left. Just under 3 minutes now.
Not yet. It's about to go up in about just about 2.5 minutes, maybe, roughly. That depends if they move the window. We'll find out. I'm just glad we don't have the long guys all out and doing it, but the neighbors...
Call for center core LOX load being complete. All 3 boosters now fully fueled. Waiting for the final tanking milestone coming in about 15 seconds time regarding liquid oxygen load on board the Falcon Heavy second stage.
So you know what happens on a rocket if it's a lot of cloud cover? It can create like a static electricity.
LOX load complete.
And with that, the Falcon Heavy is fully loaded with nearly 3 million pounds of propellant. You're seeing the ground gas closeouts as they release the remaining liquid oxygen from the feed lines.
I'm trying to only have like 5 to 6
Here's that call for gas launch closeouts. Coming up next, as we approach the final minute, the Falcon Heavy will enter into its automated startup sequence. The countdown will be handed over from the ground sequencer to the Falcon Heavy onboard flight computers.
Falcon Heavy is in startup.
And we are now waiting for the SpaceX launch director to confirm if in fact they are go for launch.
Launch director, go for launch.
Nice.
A good call there. Now just a little more than 30 seconds away from the planned liftoff of the Falcon Heavy. Tank should pressurize in less than 10 seconds.
30 seconds.
Can you all hear me
T-minus
okay?
15.
And here we go in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine ignition and liftoff. For the 12th time, a Falcon Heavy ascends from Florida's Space Coast. The Heavy has cleared the tower.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh. Here comes the actual rumble.
Falcon Heavy now traveling fast.
We should get two sonic booms.
Supersonic.
Two of them.
Approaching max Q, the point of greatest aerodynamic pressure on the vehicle. Now through max Q, throttling back up. Coming up a series.
You should be able to get a rumble now. You got rumble going on.
Payload fairness will jettison just past the 4-minute mark. Lots happening. First milestone, less than 20 seconds away. Should be at Pico now, watching for separation. You can see there's
And then chill.
NY and PY boost back startup.
Great news. At this point, both Falcon Heavy side boosters are performing the boost back burn. And this is the first of 3 burns that each side booster will undergo on the way back to Cape Canaveral Space Force Station.
now more than 3 minutes into flight. The next big milestone is the conclusion of the boost back burn, still underway. Watching tracking footage.
They will
from our
should be
cameras
coming
here.
down somewhere here. It's going to be very hard to capture them. Yes.
In just a little more than half a minute, the first stage center core, those 9 Merlin 1D engines will conclude their burn for MECO. That'll be followed by stage separation a few seconds after that, and then the ignition of the Merlin vacuum engine on the Falcon Heavy upper stage. For those here in Central Florida, and especially in Brevard County, be ready for a double sonic boom as those boosters make their way back for landings at landing zone
We're gonna
40
get
and landing zone
2
2 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station.
sonic booms. I got my neighbor here with me. You can say hi.
Hey, good morning, folks.
NY and PY boost back shut down.
Main engine cut off.
Stage separation confirmed.
Fantastic news and a great view there on your screen following stage separation, and we're now looking out for fairing separation.
All vehicles are following a nominal
Hi,
trajectory.
Tall Blue Glass. How are you?
Fairing separation confirmed.
And we got Blaine J. How's it going? It's extremely bright out here, so it's
And
a little
good
hard to
view
see the
of
screen
those
with sunglasses
payload
on.
fairings being deployed, showing the good views of the Falcon or of the Viasat-3 F3 spacecraft. The
Double
fairing
glass,
halves
this
will be
is in
recovered on
Florida.
this mission as well.
This is right
Again,
by
one of them
the
flying
Kennedy
for
Space
a
Center.
25th time, another flying for an 18th time. Now about 5 minutes into the mission, in about a minute and a half time, we'll see the start of the side booster entry burn, which will last a little bit more than 15 seconds time. That will help to slow the boosters down as they continue to make their way back to the Cape.
Let's see if we can get some better shots of it.
Now a little more than 5.5 minutes into the mission. Again, the start of the side boosters entry burn will be at about 6.5 minutes into flight.
We should get some sonic booms. I want to try to capture them for the stream.
T+6 minutes into flight, we're just about 30 seconds away from the start of the entry burn.
And there we have our lovely little planes from the
Keeping our eyes and cameras peeled to the skies for the start of the
see you later,
entry
Dad,
burn.
man.
Should be starting in about 5 seconds. Entry burn should be starting in real time. Peering through the clouds to see if we can get those with our ground tracking cameras.
NYPY entry burn startup.
And there's the call out for the entry burn startup for the Falcon Heavy side boosters. This burn is set to last about 15 seconds and again is slowing those vehicles down in preparation for their final burn and landing.
NYPY entry burn shutdown.
And
That is the end of the entry burn. Coming up next will be the start of the landing burn. Each booster will use their center engine to give them a cushioned landing. Again, one of them is targeting landing zone 40, the other landing zone 2.
Ooh.
The start of the landing burn is set to begin at about T+7 minutes 41 seconds, less than 20 seconds from now. Good tracking views from our team of the boosters coming in. Boosters traveling below the speed of sound now. Landing burn starting momentarily.
landing burn has started up. This is the final burn before the boosters will touch down.
And good landings at both landing zone 40 and landing zone 2.
The Falcons have landed. As
We
you
didn't get no
saw, we
booms.
had successful landing of Falcon Heavy side boosters. If you were in the vicinity, then you definitely heard those sonic booms on their way down. Now coming,
shutdown.
I'm amazed
we
we didn't get the
just
booms
heard
here.
the successful cutoff of our second stage
Any
engine,
moment.
and we're
We
waiting
know
for
they
confirmation
said they
of
landed
good
already.
orbit.
They did.
There we go.
It's one.
Nominal orbit.
Oh, that was two.
insertion.
Da-dum.
And they're
And a good call for a nominal orbit insertion here
That was
after
two.
a
That was
jam-packed
the two.
beginning of the 12th flight of a Falcon Heavy rocket. Now 8 minutes 43 seconds
There we go.
into flight. The next big milestone
All right,
is
everybody.
coming up at T
Thank you for coming in.
26 minutes and 5 seconds.
Have a good one.
That will
See you all later.
be
That
the
was a really
start
cool
of the
launch.
upper stage engine burn lasting about a minute and a half and will allow